It's the Samsung Galaxy S24 FE after 2 weeks of use now. And this is a phone that just gets more and more complex the more I use it and the more I think about it. Because initially, when I had said there were two arguments to this device, now I think there are three when it comes down to it. There is the price and the greater overall market. There are things like the OnePlus 12R, and if you need a little bit more software support or a better camera system, there are things like the Pixel 8a, which is going to come in significantly cheaper than something like the Galaxy S24 FE. Then there's the AI argument. Well, Samsung's saying is like, well, it's Galaxy AI for everybody, right? So that's why you should pay the additional premium for this device here. And then there's a third argument, I think, to be made. If you're just a Samsung fan, if you're just looking at the Samsung lineup as a whole, then what they're essentially telling you with the price is that this device is 2/3 of their flagship phones. $650 versus, let's say, $1,000 for something like the Plus, the S24 Plus. Does it make that argument? Yes. See, there's just so many things going on here, and I want to talk about all of them. So let's just go over the phone again and talk about the various highlights of it from how I see it. Number one, the display. Still in love with the display. Absolutely gorgeous. And they brought back the vividness and the saturation that we had been missing this year on Samsung panels. Now, here's the thing, though, and this is what gets me. If you want and you put on natural, unlike some of the other devices like the A55, like the S24 Ultra, where the vividness slider and natural and vividness changing between them really doesn't do a whole heck of a lot, not the case here. You could bring this panel all the way down to those natural tones if you want, or you could pump it up to the fully saturated experience like I have it here. But it works for both. You can have the best of both worlds. If you're somebody that you need a color accurate display for work, or you say that the colors hurt your eyes or whatever it happens to be, you could go ahead and tailor this device, or this display rather, to your specifications, which is nice. The purpose of Android, right? It's nice to see that functionality come back. Give us the options. Don't treat us like children. Then, performance-wise, really no issues with the Exynos 2400E. Really nice chipset overall. You know, I've seen multiple. This is why I don't trust benchmarks, because initially I saw benchmarks that put it slightly on par with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, then slightly under it, then slightly above it. Don't worry about that. Performance-wise, really nice, really snappy. I've had no problems, no slowdowns, no hangups, no nothing. 8 gigs of RAM, all things that you're going to like here on the S24 FE performance-wise. I was really surprised when I was able to load up Genshin Impact. No issues, defaulting to medium settings, nice and smooth. Pokemon Go was an excellent experience. I was doing a Pokemon raid with my wife. I have two characters. I had one on each phone because I'm really cool like that, and I was able to fire off curveballs just as easily and smoothly on my S24 FE as I was on my iPhone 16 Pro Max. So I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by the gaming performance, especially on an Exynos device. And just one more thing on that. The vapor chamber here works. So whatever they did, whether it's heat dissipation, whether they changed the design, the vapor chamber on the S24 FE works. It keeps the device cool. I remember the Genshin Impact download, that full download that it does, is the absolute equalizer for cell phones. And most of them, you could fry an egg on the back of the device after you're done with that download. Not the case with the S24 FE. Perfectly cool. That leads to better performance. That leads to less throttling. That leads to better battery life. There's so many things that come from just keeping a device cooler. So the vapor chamber on the S24 FE absolutely works. Okay, so let's talk about the AI stuff, because Samsung is keen to have you pay extra for the AI. Let's pull up the sketched image real quick first. This is something I drew. I had the cat just a few moments ago. It takes a minute, but you get these nice stylized versions of the cat. There is something more useful that they added to gallery. Let's go ahead and pull it up. You've got Pusheen here. I already have this pulled up, like I said, because I'm a professional. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a circle around here. Okay. That's going to take a minute. Then I could do, kind of the magic editor stuff that you can do. You can kind of move it around and do some things and add background filler and all those things to that. That's in the Samsung Gallery app now native. You could go ahead and have those different AI functions. Then you've got circle to search, just of course, as I miss it there. But you got circle to search. You got those things that you're looking for. AI-wise on the Galaxy. You got no translation, live translate, no transcribing. If you're taking notes, it'll actually differentiate who's speaking on a voice recording and put it in a note. So some of this stuff is interesting, but it's not things that you can't already get on something like your Pixel 8a and phones like that. So that's really where it becomes more of a struggle to justify the additional price just based on AI alone. On hardware, it does the job. The cameras will throw up some shots. Pleasantly surprised. Noticeable step up from last year. Last year's images were not saturated. They were fuzzy. The camera struggled to focus. The shutter lag. None of those problems on the S24 FE. So if you were somebody who was absolutely disappointed by the camera system on the S23 FE, massive improvements. No shutter lag or very little shutter lag. Decent experience overall and decent photos. The other thing is battery life. The Exynos 2400E in the S24 FE leagues better than the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 in the S23 FE. I had so many complaints about that device, people asking, saying, hey, look, but the phone's great, performance is fine, battery life is trash. 5.5, 6 hours of screen on time. This one will get you closer to 8, even though the cell in it was only about 200 milliamp hours larger than last year's device. So that's really nice. Plus, you got the bigger size, 6.4-inch display last year, 6.7-inch display this year. Really nice, though. Really nice feel in the hand. I love the way that they've kind of tapered the back aluminum here. So the frame is sharp on the front to get you that kind of clean cut on the front. It has a nice flat glass, but you can see it's just kind of curved and molded into the back glass display here, or back glass, I should say, of the device. So it's nice and easy in the hand, kind of cradles a little bit in the hand, but overall a quality device. I like it. I like it. The problem isn't the hardware. The problem isn't the performance. The problem isn't any of that. Price. A lot of people, you got a Galaxy Watch FE or something like that kicked in. Carrier deals. Best Buy gift cards. Link in the description. Does help the channel. Whatever it happens to be. Black Friday coming up. Lots of deals to be had on this device. That's when you go ahead and buy it. Because I'm not saying it's not worth $650. I think there are better options at $650. I think if you want to get this 128 gigs of storage base, right? If you want to put it at $256, now you're talking $710. What does that get you dangerously close to? S24, which is objectively better, more powerful, more RAM. I don't know about the RAM part, but the better camera system. Then you get to the Plus, which is $750, which I know has more RAM than this. So there are things that you can kind of, there's arguments to be made all over the place. That's why make it easier on yourself. If you get a deal, if you get something that gets the relative value of this device around the $500 mark, run, don't walk, because you've got yourself a fantastic device with 7 years of support that absolutely can do the job. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.